and a community on edge after police say a man kidnapped somebody and then shot at them.
I pull off, I go boom, 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 boom.
That stray bullet could have went through your house.
What we're learning about the suspect and the officers involved.
And in the wake of recent violence, city leaders roll out new plans to make Charlotte safer.
These projects aren't just about bricks and bulbs and pavement. They're about restoring confidence and pride in the heart of the Queen City.
How the city's new Refresh project is promising safer, brighter streets for you.
Plus, former Hornet star Terry Rozier out on bond this morning amid a massive federal gambling investigation linked to the mafia.
This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
And we got a trophy hunt, so we're going to fight it.
The case Rozier's lawyer is making and what the historic crackdown means for sports.
And as the weather cools down, deer are on the move.
What experts say drivers should know as mating season begins. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
It's a busy Friday morning. I-77 here. You can see that commute if you're coming in from York County into Mecklenburg County. No accidents, but we're just used to this commute as we're heading into now near that 7 o'clock hour. Do want to let you know about this. This is now a vehicle fire on the inner loop of I-485 near Mount Holly Road. We're still learning more about this. We did send a photographer out there, so join us over on WCNC Plus as we continue to follow this for you. Chris.
Okay, this time's for real. Coldest low of the season. One more time, right?
Hey.
Okay, you don't have to hear me say it anymore, I promise. 42 degrees, that's what we just dropped down to. And then going forward, we're going to talk about our coldest day because we have the mid-50s with rain Monday and Tuesday. So enjoy the upper 60s with sunshine while we have them.
I guess this is how fall works. It gets colder, and then colder, and then colder, and then colder. We'll see you at 7 a.m. over on WCNC Plus. Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Megan Bragg, in for Lisa Washington. Well, we've been telling you it's cold. It's cold this morning. It's cold this morning because, you know, it is. Right, Chris?
It is. 44 is how cold we've been for the bottom on Monday and Thursday. We just officially hit 42 degrees, so that is the coldest low of the season, even though tomorrow will rival that. And then the following week will likely rival these numbers once again. Now, our current temperatures are all over the place across the board. We're at 50 degrees in Monroe. It's an 8-degree swing from Charlotte to Monroe. That's not a huge distance. And then we also have Boone that's freezing at 30 degrees. So those different advisories and freeze warnings that we had did verify. Still maybe a little bit of frost forming parts of Burke County over here in Rowan County, elsewhere also in Iredell as well, because you can still have frost on a calm wind and a clear sky with temperatures as warm as 38 degrees. It's just not as thick and it's easy to wipe off. Our local fire danger at a high. So I have to let you know this is still going to be a little bit on the breezy side, not too much though. This model data is really only showing I think a gentle breeze overall, but I would not be surprised if we still have a straight gust up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. And then our highs today also a little bit on the warmer side as well, or cooler side, not warmer. We are leaving that in the rear view. We have the mid to the upper 70s through most of this week, while only the upper 60s today, close to 70, with sunshine still sticking with us. Winds out of the north and north-northwest is really what's driving this cool down. Notice one day that stands out from the rest over the next three. Each day has significant changes. For one, Saturday is actually very similar to today. Sunday is much cloudier and a little bit cooler. Monday, rain, overcast, 50s. Not a great looking day. We desperately need the rain, but I officially upgraded your Monday to a widespread rain potential, isolated on Thursday and then on and off on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'll show you why coming up here shortly. And our 7-day rainfall outlook shows anywhere up to about 1.5 inches to even 3 inches. So about 1.5 to 3 inches possible. That's great for our drought status, because so far this October, guess how much rain we've had? Place your guesses? Less than 1/10 of an inch. Only 0.07 of an inch. So we desperately need the rain. So this is a good thing. And it's not all at once. It's just going to be fairly steady through a couple of days. Here's what our futurecast looks like heading into the weekend. I'll get out of the way. You don't need to see me. Focus on where you live. Just some upper level clouds here and there. So the only difference today and tomorrow is you might actually see a little bit of cloud cover, mainly some of those cirrus clouds. Then on Saturday night heading into Sunday, here comes the clouds. Turning mostly cloudy, I think, through the day, and even overcast by day's end, because I think by the late afternoon, so that means some Panthers fans would not be surprised if even a sprinkle starts to sneak in as maybe you are exiting the stands. Bills fans too, whoever you're a fan of going to the game. And we have that on and off rain that's continuing through the evening and the overnight. And at times, as you can see, it's going to be widespread. The best way to put this is pulses of rain. I think it could rain for 2 to 4 hours, and then it stops for the same time frame. We're going to see that on and off really for the next several days, so it just really just depends where you are, and that'll jog into your Monday. The reason why is because we have multiple systems nearby. This one right here, this low, eventually is going to move off the coast, so there are, I think, going to be periods that we can have rain even up to 6 hours plus, depending where you are. So near washout status for some of us, there's still some question marks exactly where this low is going to trend, some timing issues, how much rain, but still in general, I think things are really lining up that Monday is the wettest. Once we're in between these two lows, that's where we start to have a little bit more intermittent activity for your Tuesday, so that could be better news for the Charlotte FC game. And then once this low moves to the north, we're starting to dry things out, but then we cool things down. Yep, that's Thursday morning, even a chance for a little bit of flurry action up in the mountains, and likely the snowfall is not really going to amount to too much. We're looking at a sunny sky today and tomorrow. After that, there's the big changes. So not only is it widespread rain on Monday, but rain in the 50s. Whew, have the umbrella, get ready, even the rain jacket type of scenario. And then either side is 60 degrees Wednesday and Thursday. We should dry out through your Thursday afternoon. That would leave a colder, but hey, still drier Halloween next Friday. Let's get right over to Majestic, kicking off our first traffic look here on WCNC Plus. How's it looking on this cold morning?
Oh, there's a lot going on already. Starting off our Friday morning on the busy side, but you know how it goes. I think we would expect that. It's 7:04 right now. This is I-485, where traffic seems to be flowing just all right here. It is definitely a chilly start to the morning, feeling like it's 38 degrees in Charlotte, but not seeing any problems right there with that camera. I do want to let you know on 485, though, we are seeing this slowdown now starting to build. This is going to be out near Mount Holly Road, the inner loop, or actually, you know what? It seems like it's the outer loop of I-485, where we do have a vehicle fire that's been reported. We did send our photographer there to go check it out, so we'll let you know what we learn and what we see once he actually gets there, because we don't have a camera on it. In addition to that, out towards Lake Wiley, backups are building even more, where we do have a lane that's blocked. This is on York Road at McDowell Park Drive. You can see that again out towards Lake Wiley. Heading up to the north again, another lane is blocked, this time Mount Holly, Huntersville Road at Berkshire Boulevard. You can see that yellow there, meaning that there will be a little bit of a delay there. It's been ongoing now for over an hour. We'll give you another update coming up in just a few minutes, and I'll let you know what I am learning about that vehicle fire here soon. Ben.
All right, Majestic, thanks. Time now is 6:05 or 7:05 rather. Right now we are following 3 overnight accidents that happened on I-45. Medics says so far at least 5 people have been taken to the hospital, 4 with serious injuries. That first one happening last night around 10 on the inner loop near mile marker 66, and then around 2 a.m. this morning, another crash near Rocky River Road in northeast Charlotte. And that same time over in Steel Creek, another wreck as well. Police cleared all 3 scenes, so the accidents should not impact your morning commute. Well, this morning we are following a string of violent crimes that stretched across West Charlotte yesterday, leaving 2 people dead, including the suspect police say was connected to both incidents. The scenes about 15 minutes apart.
Yeah, everything started near Hoskins Road and Black Avenue, where officers say they were called for an assault with a deadly weapon. When they arrived, they say they found 2 people shot. One victim later died, and the other is in critical condition. On your screen right now, video we have gathered from the scene yesterday. Officers say not long after that shooting, a kidnapping and home invasion was called in nearby. Police say the suspect forced a woman into a car, then fired at officers during a chase, hitting several police cars. Neighbors we spoke to were stunned from all the chaos.
I pull off, I go boom, 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 boom. I dipped on off. I bend the corner, sit there for a couple seconds, come back around, and I heard the police call.
This is a main road, so like the shooting just now is like that stray bullet could have went through your house, and instead of you being like
that chase we mentioned came to a violent end at that second scene near Freedom Drive in Moorhead just 15 minutes later. WCNC Charlotte's Siobhan Riley shares how even after it was over, the chaotic scene continued.
Crime scene tape stretched across parts of West Moorhead and Freedom Drive during rush hour traffic. This is one of the scenes connected to the kidnapping and home invasion nearby.
The traffic was all of a sudden gridlocked all around our neighborhood trying to get in, and police helicopters figured something big was going on, but did not realize it was a police shooting or anything.
So there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of different crime scenes.
CMPD Police Chief Johnny Jennings says once the suspect involved in the chase crashed, he jumped out of the car and ran off.
As they were chasing him on foot, he continued to fire rounds at our officers, and as he approached officers on Moorhead, pointed a firearm at those officers.
Chief Jennings says those officers returned fire, striking the suspect. The suspect died at the scene. Jennings says the situation could have been a lot worse if officers weren't there.
But we also had lives that were saved because of the quick response by our officers.
People who live in the area say though they're thankful no one lost their life, the crime needs to stop.
Recently, just everything going on between the light rail, you hear shootings on the news every morning. It's a bit concerning. Would definitely like that to get figured out a bit.
The chief says when the suspect crashed at that intersection, the woman was able to get away safely. This is an ongoing investigation. Police ask if you have any information or if perhaps you have video footage from a security camera to please share it with them.
City leaders are taking steps to make Charlotte safer, and beautification is playing a role in rebuilding confidence in Uptown. Earlier this month, CMPD announced efforts to boost visibility and cut crime. Upgrades include lighting, landscape benches, and trash bins. More officers are on foot and bike patrols targeting busy areas. Leaders say it's about more than enforcement. It's changing how people experience the city day and night.
A safe community attracts investment. It creates jobs. It builds trust. It gives people confidence to live, work, and raise families here in Charlotte.
Officials add these steps are just the start of rebuilding pride and security across Charlotte. We now know the man police believe is responsible for a bomb threat at the Gaston County Administration's building Wednesday. Deputies say Timothy Henderson is charged with making a false report about a destructive device. Deputies arrested Henderson about a half hour after that bomb threat. He's now being held on a $250,000 secured bond.
This morning, we're learning that a new species of butterfly is being named after Irina Zarutska, the Ukrainian refugee who was killed on the light rail in August. The butterfly's common name is Irina Azur. It's derived from the Greek goddess of peace and associated with tranquility, harmony, and serenity. 7:10 now. Up next, the government shutdown now hits day 24. No end in sight. We'll break down why the Senate blocked a deal to pay essential workers. .13 right now on your Friday morning as we take a live look over the Capitol building in Washington this morning as the sun gets ready to come up. It's where the president's latest trade and security plans are fueling debate there on the Hill. President Trump says his efforts to keep America safe are working, pointing to new strikes on drug-running boats.
Meantime, Trump now says he is terminating trade deals with Canada. NBC's Alice Barr breaks down what this means for you this morning.
President Trump overnight calling off all trade negotiations with Canada over this Government of Ontario ad featuring former President Reagan saying high tariffs lead to retaliation and fierce trade wars.
Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
The president citing a statement from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute accusing Ontario of using selective audio and video that misrepresents the 1987 address without asking permission to use and edit the remarks, noting the foundation is reviewing legal options. President Trump accusing Ontario of interfering with a looming Supreme Court case on the legality of his tariffs that he called very important to national security and the economy. That amid growing legal questions over the Trump administration's military strikes against alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean.
The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign we're waging war on them.
The president now suggesting operations may move on land, saying his administration will inform Congress about targeting drug runners on land, but stopped short of promising to seek authorization for military force. Democrats in Congress calling for hearings on the strikes that have killed at least 37 people. The administration has not presented evidence there were drugs in all of the boats, though the president is adamant the strikes are legal and necessary to keep drugs out of the country.
President Trump also announced he's backing off plans to send National Guard troops to San Francisco amid backlash from the tech community, saying he'll focus instead on cities like Chicago. The president leaves tonight for Asia in a trip set to include a meeting with China's president as a critical trade deal remains elusive. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The government shutdown now entering day 24, and it's set to drag into next week. The Senate headed home yesterday without a deal to reopen the government after failing to advance a Republican bill that would pay essential federal workers during the shutdown. Republicans say it would have brought some relief to workers still on the job, but Democrats argue it gives the president too much power over who gets paid and who doesn't.
This whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's strictly to try to give a few Democrats some leverage, they think, and to give them some protection from their radical base. This is hurting a lot of innocent people, and it needs to end.
We're perfectly willing to work with Republicans on a broad proposal that pays everyone, not just the president's personal favorites. We can't allow him to pick and choose the ones that he thinks deserve to be paid. They all should be paid because they're doing essential work.
The Senate set to reconvene Monday.
Well, it's the coldest morning of the season, 42 degrees, and we are expecting colder temperatures to come. I'll let you know you can expect the next coldest morning and the coldest day here shortly. Welcome back, everybody. Earlier in October, I did a story on the most infamous October hurricanes. And coincidentally, a lot of them begin with the letter M, like Mitch and Matthew. And Melissa very well could make that list. Now, it's not the strongest one that we've ever seen. However, the setup that it has is the worst case scenario. Let me explain. Right now, this is stationary, meaning it's not going anywhere. 45-mile-per-hour winds doesn't seem like that much. But since it's taking so long to move, it eventually is going to head into the right conditions, veer to the west before moving off towards the north. This thing is literally surrounding Jamaica. So you may think, okay, well, Jamaica is saved. It's not going to have the same impact as, say, the most historic storm in Jamaica history. It was back in 1988, Hurricane Gilbert is going to do. But when a hurricane is that close, you still have massive storm surge, a tremendous amount of rain, and you're also going to have constant winds for days. So let's get this straight. We're at a low end tropical storm right now. By tomorrow, it's a Category 1. By the end of the weekend into next week, we're talking about a major hurricane, even a Category 4, and it could exceed expectations, up to winds about 130 miles per hour. That potential wind field, we're first seeing signs by about Saturday afternoon of tropical storm force winds to really start to cover the island. Heading into Sunday, all of the island dealing with tropical storm force winds. But for your Monday, heading into Tuesday, the worst of the winds stay offshore. That's the good news. But you're still going to have a pretty much tropical storm force winds. Those are sustained winds at 40 to 70 miles per hour for about a 3-day time span. On top of that, you're having constant rain through your Saturday, about 1 to 2 inches. We've already seen significant impacts in the southern parts of Hispaniola and Haiti and the Dominican Republic from the rain from a storm that's over 100 miles away. Through your Monday and Tuesday, we have about 5 to 7 inches. Once we get this turn back towards Cuba, look how quickly this number grows. 15 to 20 inches of rain is a possibility here. The most ever Jamaica has recorded in history, as I was mentioning, is Hurricane Gilbert. About 32 inches of rain fell. But Gilbert flew by. This one's going to stick around for a few days. So something I'm really concerned about right in this little stretch. These are just estimates. It could be higher than that. Here's what Hurricane Gilbert did. Now, I don't think you're going to have a Gilbert. Gilbert literally was a Category 3 major hurricane that the entire eye wall, the strongest winds, went entirely across the island. Those are winds at 140 miles per hour, rained up to 32 inches. It killed up to 50 people. Over 100,000 homes were destroyed and 800,000 people lost shelter. This is the one that's always the benchmark. This is like South Carolina's Hugo back in 1988. Nothing is really compared to this. We've had some nearby storms, but Melissa, depending on what this track is, even without a direct landfall, could be one of the worst flooding events that Jamaica's ever seen. So stand by for that. I'm hoping something else changes. It dives further south. Regardless, it's going to be a big rainmaker. Charlotte area forecast looking good. It's cooler and beautiful, so not much to mention here. Nothing historic. And we have been almost historically dry for October. I guess I could find something. We've had less than 1/10 of an inch so far. Well, we need the rain. It's a desperation plea for any sort of rain. Well, our surface map is showing that we have a really good setup for it. All you need is just multiple systems, multiple fronts, low pressure systems, especially. That's what will really do it. And we have one of those nearby starting off on Sunday night through Monday night. That's where I think that we're seeing most of the rain in the near term. I think we see up to 3 inches of rain from this system in general. If we get any more moisture involved, then it could be a lot more than that. But that's 3 inches over 3 to 4 days, so not really a flood concern. Once this secondary system moves through, we're kind of in between the jams. So what's happening is by 4 a.m. on Tuesday, we start to spread these things out. Meanwhile, this is going to be an epic storm. This is going to be another nor'easter. It moves up into New England, so coastal erosion is going to be a possibility. Seeing some problems here in the Outer Banks as usual. And then we see that rain starting to kind of dry out a little bit before it starts to retreat heading into your Thursday morning. And then I'm circling this because we're seeing our first signs of pink. Pink means a wintry mix. It can be a variety of things with atmospheric conditions or even a rain-snow mix. That's a possibility heading into Thursday morning just for the mountains. So our 7-day forecast brought to us by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. Looking at it one more time. Enjoy the upper 60s because after that, it's not just rain. It's a cold rain in the 50s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Yikes. Chilly morning to start off our morning commute. Majestic, what's going on?
It's beautiful though outside. I mean, we're talking about clear and crisp conditions heading out the door. Yeah, feeling like it's 38 degrees. Here we go as we're heading out the door. This is 485. Keeping a close eye on that, watching everything for you. From I-40 to I-77, even I-85, we have our typical delays, but now we're also following a handful of accidents. This one here is our newest wreck. It's going to be a lane that's blocked because of this wreck on University City Boulevard near I-485. I-45. You can see the orange starting to build there. Never a good sign, but those delays don't seem to be significant. We've also had reports of the inner loop of I-485 near Mount Holly of a vehicle fire. And then to the south of it, out towards Lake Wiley, a lane is blocked because of an additional crash. The delays are getting worse here on York Road and McDowell Park Drive. We're watching a lot of things for you. We'll have another update all coming up here in just a little while.
Live pictures right now over uptown on your Friday morning. Time now 7:25. Sunrise coming up in just about 10 minutes. Have another check of your forecast and your Friday morning commute next on WCNC Plus.
Might have felt a little bit colder than it has been on Monday and Tuesday. We were 44. This morning, we just dropped down to 42 degrees, officially the coldest that we've had so far this season, and we'll challenge that again tomorrow. Pumpkin spice, make it hot. We're back to the lower 60s with sunshine by 11 to noon, and it's all in all going to be a cooler day. Winds gusting up to about 20 miles per hour. Occasionally, high temperatures right around 69 degrees. Then tonight, similar low and similar high to tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, almost the exact same day across the board. At most, maybe a few more upper level clouds for your Saturday. No big difference there. But Sunday, huge. We're expecting an increase of the cloud cover, getting a little bit cooler, turning overcast by the end of the day. Chances of rain Sunday evening. Rain is likely, though, on Monday and scattered through Tuesday, Wednesday. Cold days as well. Majestic, take it away. What's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. We're getting real close to the weekend. Here's I-45 at Oakdale Road. You can see people are flowing and driving just fine. No problems out that direction. But yeah, it feels like it's 38 degrees. If you are heading out the door, grab that jacket. You will surely need it. Want to show you a couple of our delays. This one here is going to be ongoing. This is where we are following a lane that's blocked because of a crash on University City Boulevard on I-485. And then also I-85 inbound. We do have a crash here. We're going to be following everything on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Megan Bragg in for Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. New healthcare options are coming to Harrisburg next year.
Atrium Health and town leaders have announced the current emergency room is expanding, adding new features that will impact those who live there.
WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith has more on what you can expect.
This hospital here on Rocky River Road currently operates as a freestanding ER, but in the near future, patients will be able to receive full service hospital care right in their own backyard.
If they expand it to provide all those services, it would really be a benefit for people living nearby here.
Gene Hermit is a Harrisburg resident. He says he remembers when the hospital first opened.
We came by for a tour and we asked questions about what the services were available, especially things for like strokes and heart attack. And we were quite surprised because they said for really serious things like that, they would have to send us to a full service hospital.
But Robert Donham, Town of Harrisburg town manager, says that won't be the case come next year.
Currently, Harrisburg residents do have to travel either out of the county or 20, 25 minutes to Concord to access some of the more full service hospital needs that you have. And we would anticipate all of those services being provided right here in Harrisburg for our residents.
Those services specialized for more urgent matters.
Surgery centers and the medical offices that come along with it, imaging and hospital beds.
Donham says the process for the expansion will take time and is still in the early stages, but will also be a contributing factor to the town's economic development.
The jobs, they provide a great deal of investment both in the construction and everything, but also the workers there also need to frequent your community. They buy homes in your community. They dine and shop in your community.
Much better, especially since we're getting older now. That really is important. So, a sense of security.
The county's only full-service hospital is located in Concord, making this project only the second full-service emergency healthcare provider. In Harrisburg, Bria Smith, WCNC Charlotte.
Today is a cold start officially. 29 degrees now around the Boone area. So that is the coldest temperature I've seen so far for you this season. It's 42 right now around Charlotte, 35 in Salisbury. So this is the time that there was a chance for a little bit of frost. The thing is, the sun's now up, so it's not as big of a deal, or rising up. And 50 degrees around Monroe, 48 in Chirac. So definitely flannel weather starting off the day. So we have still an active frost advisory that goes until 9 o'clock, so an hour and a half here. And it was an appropriate freeze warning for the North Carolina mountains because, yeah, it's freezing right now. The only reason why we have these, as long as it is technically the growing season, you will continue to see these. Once you get in November, they cut off. The latest they ever go is around November 11th. So as soon as we hit really that first big freeze, there's a good chance you might not see another freeze warning for the rest of this season until the spring. So this is all just for an alert to, hey, protect those plants if you want to extend their longevity. Our high temperatures today, upper 60s to the lower 70s, and then up in the mountains, not reaching that 60-degree point, but we got sunshine and really no clouds today. Maybe a few upper level clouds here and there, but that's it. And winds out of the north are a little bit lighter than they otherwise have been. Still a stray gust up 20 miles per hour, not out of the question. Tonight's forecast dropping down into the lower 40s. Hey, what do you know? It's the same temperature that we had this morning. Sunrise time right around 7:38, 7:39 across the greater Charlotte area. Another chilly one. Here's your weekend forecast, what we're all looking forward to. Tomorrow's pretty much the exact same day as today. Same lows, similar highs, and also similar sky conditions. But overnight, we increase the clouds, and I think it turns mostly cloudy and even overcast for your Sunday. You will see the sunshine at times, but by the end of the day, I think that cloud cover even turns a little bit darker as we're going to have our next chance for rain. A significant difference into next week, though. Monday, true case of the Mondays, the mid-50s. Whew, it's going to be a cold rain. And I think most of your Monday is where we're seeing most of the rain for the week. That's our best chance for widespread hours of rain. And then once you get to Tuesday and Wednesday, I think it's scattered, kind of on and off pulses of showers. And that eventually winds down Wednesday night heading into Thursday as that final system is going to be passing by. Once you get to about that Thursday time frame, we're closer to about that 60-degree point, and I think that we are still staying dry for around All Hallows Eve. So good news there. But parents, if you have a costume that maybe isn't super warm, maybe try to think of a way that you might be able to add an extra layer or two. But in general, definitely take advantage of the next few days. Let's get right over to Majestic to see how our morning commute is faring. Majestic, what's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Let's get to it. Want to give you some updates. We'll start with this. This is coming in from South Carolina and York County, where it is a beautiful start to the day. Love this time of the day. It's so gorgeous, but yes, those roads are definitely becoming jam-packed. There was a quick peek at some of those drive times for you this morning. If you're coming in from Gastonia, now 41 minutes. We do have a crash on I-85 that we're going to be detailing out. This is I-485. Not seeing anything too majorly concerning right over there, but here's my map. More green than red. That's always good. However, we do still have a handful of ongoing wrecks. This one here is starting to back up. You can see the orange is going to be because the lane is blocked. It's on University City Boulevard near I-485. That's still ongoing. And then once we jump over to the west, you can see all of this delay right here. That's I-85 north at Main Street. That's exit 22. It's backed up to Cox Road. That's exit 21. So yes, we are seeing our typical delays on I-85 inbound, but now there is an ongoing wreck. We've also been following this one for you over the last 30 minutes. A lane is blocked because of a crash on York Road in McDowell Park Drive. That's out towards Lake Wiley. That is slowing you down about 5 minutes there. And then to the north, this is still ongoing. A lane that's blocked because of a crash here on Mount Holly, Huntersville Road at Brookshire Boulevard. You can still see the oranges and the yellows. Not seeing significant delays, but it might be slowed down just a few minutes. That's what I'm watching for now. We'll have another check on traffic coming up here shortly.
Thank you so much, Majestic. Today, crews will resume their search for a kayaker who went missing on the Catawba River near Cowan's Ford Dam. Officials say 45-year-old Pablo Bentesneri disappeared Sunday after his kayak overturned while fishing. They say he wasn't wearing a life jacket at the time. Search crews from multiple agencies spent the day on the water yesterday. The Highway 73 public boat access will stay closed until the search is complete.
This morning, critics say they are challenging the new Republican-friendly congressional maps in court. Republicans passed the map as part of a national effort led by the president to protect their congressional majority in next year's midterms. In Raleigh, civil rights leader Bishop William Barber called the measures unfair.
That would mean that nearly 80% of North Carolina's U.S. House seats would be held by Republicans, which does not reflect the will of the voters of this state.
For some context here, according to the latest data, registered Democrats and Republicans are evenly split in the state. The group adds they're planning protests against the new maps for the coming weeks. Well, neighbors in Huntersville are growing concerned over the future of Birkdale Village. It comes after global real estate investment firm Hines announced they're taking over the property, as we told you earlier this week. Here's the thing, they're the third owner since 2024, following Jamestown, who just secured rezoning approval for apartments, hotel, offices, and more retail. Neighbors say the constant ownership changes leave them worried about overbuilding and too much traffic.
My immediate reaction is we knew this was going to happen. My concern was this is going to go from a village to a New York City skyline.
Jamestown says commitments made during the rezoning remain binding, while Hines says they're reviewing the property to decide what's best for residents and shoppers.
Coming up, President Trump continues to crack down on crime across the country. We'll break down the criticism he's facing from lawmakers next.
7:41 right now here on WCNC Plus. This morning, new clashes over President Trump's crackdown on undocumented immigration. You see in some of the video here. He says he spoke with San Francisco mayor and will not send federal law enforcement to the city for now. Garrett Hake has more on the immigration enforcement and the criticism surrounding the president's actions.
New clashes between protesters and law enforcement officers. What are you arresting him for? Chicago police coming to the aid of federal agents. Gas deployed, making one arrest for battering a police officer. While in California, a man hit with a projectile during a protest against ICE. President Trump touting his crime crackdown.
They are arresting bad criminals, and they're really good at it, too.
And saying after a phone call with San Francisco's mayor, he's holding off on deploying federal agents there.
I mean, they're doing a good job, so we are holding off that surge, everybody, and we're going to let them see if they can do it.
While in Washington, satellite photos show the White House's East Wing, both before and after the demolition, to build a massive new ballroom in its place, which the White House says is needed to host diplomatic events.
It'll be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world, I think.
Tonight, some GOP criticism.
I'm certainly hearing about it from Alaskans who are saying, when did we decide that we needed a bigger ballroom?
The president says the project is paid for by himself and private donors, including NBC News parent company Comcast. Tonight, speaking about his own donation, which he says will be in the unspecified millions of dollars.
How much am I donating? I won't be able to tell you until I finish, but I'll donate whatever's needed, I'll tell you that.
The man accused of sparking the Palisades fire has pleaded guilty to federal arson charges. On your screen, Jonathan Rinderknecht, he made his first appearance in court yesterday. Rinderknecht faces charges including destruction of property by fire. He pleaded not guilty and was ordered to stay in custody. Federal prosecutors say he lived in Los Angeles when he allegedly started the Latchman fire on New Year's Day. Investigators say he was in the area working as an Uber driver, dropping off passengers near a former home.
This morning, Alaska Airlines resuming operations after an IT problem grounded hundreds of flights last night. The ground stop lasted nearly 3 hours. The airline says more than 200 flights were canceled. Alaska Airlines experienced a similar outage back in July and one after a systems upgrade in April of 2024. Alaska is the 5th largest U.S. airline. Target says it's cutting 1,800 jobs across the company, which is about 8% of its workforce. It's the largest round of layoffs in a decade at the retailer as it aims to return to growth after 4 years of stagnant sales. Affected employees will be notified Tuesday. The company's shares have fallen 65% from their all-time high back in 2021.
Well, take a look at this. Nike is testing a first-of-its-kind shoe designed to help people go faster and farther. Just yesterday, Nike unveiled Project Amplify, a partnership with a robotics company to create the world's first powered running shoe. But this isn't built for pros. It's for everyday runners, joggers, and walkers like Chris. The experimental shoe features a lightweight motor and rechargeable battery that boosts every step, helping you move farther with less effort. Right now, it's still in testing, and there's no word yet on when Chris can get it in the stores.
No, I need a robotic knee. Calf's fine. I need a knee.
So it's shoes that you just like turn on and it helps you go faster?
I
Yeah,
guess.
it makes you wonder if they get like carried away and
I know.
And then they just go out of control.
And then you
Maybe
can
just
like fall.
for no reason.
I mean,
It kind of reminds me of like a treadmill on a shoe. You know?
yeah, totally.
That's true.
That's a great way of looking at it.
what it is.
Yeah, it could be a lot of fun or it could be very dangerous.
dangerous.
That's right.
Get out of control very
shoes.
fast.
That's right. All right. We're back after this right here on WCNC Plus.
Okay, take a look at these photos on your screen because they're really, really great. The finalists for this year's Nikon Comedy Wildlife Awards has just been announced. Judges picked the funniest photos and videos from nature. This year, the decade-old contest received nearly 10,000 entries from 108 countries. Finalists included a dancing gorilla, laughing lions, a squirrel having a bad hair day, and more. The winners will be announced at a ceremony in London on December 9th. I love, love, love these pictures. Look at these.
That witty wildlife. They don't even know it.
I know.
That's the best part.
So cute.
I love
This is what memes were made of.
Right?
For all those. All right, Megan.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Because we're friends, this is for you.
Okay.
This is first look at the Panthers home game versus the Bills. So Bills coming to town, hoping for a W. Well, here's the start. Tailgaters, right around 11 o'clock, you're looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 50s. Once you get about noon, 60 degrees. Here's the best hope I have for you, is that more sunshine starts to filter in. If you don't have that, I still think a similar temperature range, lower to the mid 60s, but if you get more sunshine, might even be in the upper 60s. So we're really exceeding expectations if that's the case in the scenario. Right now, things are trending towards more of a cloudier side, but I think you're definitely going to see the sunshine on and off. So, hey, it could be a lot worse. It could be actually Monday that we have a forecast of this nature. So luckily, things are definitely trending a better direction for that overall. So here's what it looks like as we continue over the next several days, bringing us up to Panthers time. Friday, don't worry about it. There's nothing here. Maybe you see a couple of clouds, but I think for the most part, it's another wall-to-wall sunshine type of scenario. For your Saturday, here comes a few extra clouds, but not too much. This is what I'm talking about. Saturday night into Sunday, starting to see those big white patches coming up. So leading up to tailgating time, yeah, you are seeing some areas of sunshine, but there's also going to be times that it will turn overcast. I think by the very end of the Panthers game, if not by 5, 6 o'clock, we're talking about nothing but clouds. Sunshine's taking a break for several days. And at that point, I think we're also seeing a little bit of rain. So if you're hanging out for your Sunday evening, you're going to have a chance for some sprinkles, maybe turning into a light rain shower. It's still going to be tough at first for this rain to really reach the surface, but once we start to saturate things, the rain is on. And look at this. This is 10 p.m. on Sunday. Widespread showers and no storms, though. It's too cool for that. But at times, I think you could have some heavier, persistent rain. And depending where things go, I think right now things are still trending up to about 3 inches on and off. And that's also another term to say. On and off rain is going to be a good possibility in the short term as we get this system to roll through. Whenever you got a low pressure system move from the Gulf diagonal across Georgia, South Carolina, and then out into the Atlantic, this is the perfect nor'easter setup. And it's called nor'easter not because they typically plague the Northeast, it's because the winds rotate out of the Northeast. That's also going to pick up winds heading into next week. That's a big problem along the coast once again, and it's also going to be a big headache as this thing starts to strengthen and the winds start to intensify heading up to around the New England area. But we're also surrounded by a couple of systems. This one's also going to be locked towards the west, and that keeps a little atmospheric blocking and also keeps some rain chances around. So that's why I don't think it's as vast on your Tuesday and Wednesday. It's more scattered. Most of the rain is north of us or northwest, but then it will move back in heading into your Wednesday. I think we see a final hurrah Wednesday night heading to Thursday. And then the backside of this, yes, first signs of maybe some snowflakes to fly up in the high country, but just for the mountains, not for the Charlotte area. Don't worry yet. Our 7-day forecast brought to you by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. You can see the top and you can see the bottom. Upper 60s to around 70 degrees both today and tomorrow, almost the exact same day. Panthers game, we already went through that. Mostly cloudy skies with maybe a little bit of sunshine. Hope no sunshine to start off next week. Overcast skies, but I think Tuesday you might see a hint of sunshine come back, but still on and off rain chances Monday through Thursday. There you have it. Let's get right over to your morning commute.
This is I-77 there at John Belk. We have clear skies, cool temperatures, feeling like we're into the upper 30s heading out the door. Getting in your car, you might notice you want to turn up the heat just a little bit. Now, we do have a nice start to the day, but those roads definitely are starting to get busy now that we're at almost 8 o'clock this morning. We have our typical delays, of course, but also we do have several accidents to report. A lane is blocked because of a crash. This is going to be on University City Boulevard near I-485. I-4 with those delays. They are starting to build even more. And then this crash still has not been cleared. It's going to be on I-85 northbound at Main Street. That's exit 22, backed up to about exit 21. So you may want to allow for a few extra minutes to get to where you need to be. And then out towards Lake Wiley, York Road and McDowell Park Drive, still seeing quite a bit of orange there, meaning that cars are moving. They're just moving a little slowly because of that ongoing crash. Guys.
All right, the countdown is on. Halloween now 1 week away. And engineering students you see here at Kennesaw State University in Georgia are keeping up a time-honored tradition. Yesterday, they gathered to see how far they could launch a pumpkin with a device used during medieval times.
You love to see that. Joshua Skinner takes us behind the launch for this educational experience.
3, 2, 1. Fire in the hole.
This is not 13th century Europe.
It'll go up to the pulley that we have across there.
And Oscar Garcia is not a knight, but rather a sophomore engineering student at Kennesaw State.
Our cannon weighs approximately 500 pounds.
He and dozens of other students are launching 10-pound pumpkins from trebuchets as part of their dynamics class.
Let it go!
The students are divided into teams and competing for distance, safety, and creativity. And while there are prizes for first, second, and third place, the loser of this competition gets stuffed into an Iron Maiden.
No.
Engineering professor Cameron Coates helps oversee the pumpkin launch.
They get an opportunity to see theory being applied and manifested physically.
And not just students. The event turns out a crowd. There are rules, size limits, counterweight limits. That's all part of the learning experience.
When you're designing in engineering, there are always constraints. Yesterday we got 325 feet.
And as minds and pumpkins turn, the goal is to learn that no matter how good something looks on paper,
fire in the hole.
Sometimes you just gotta go out and smash some pumpkins.
It's a fantastic experience for the students.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's awesome.
Hundreds of feet.
Yeah, that's so random. It's kind of random. When I was in college, they would go up to the tallest building that we had on campus at Washington State, and they would get this giant pumpkin and drop it, and it was like an experiment. It was one of the science projects that they did, and they were measuring something to do with gravity, and it was always this huge, giant pumpkin, and it would just explode.
There's something about, like, not to quote the band, but there's something about, like, smashing pumpkins that people love, and it's
I've
just,
never
it's just
done
a-
it. Have you?
They love to see an exploding gourd.
Yeah.
Have you ever smashed a pumpkin?
I don't think so.
Like, I think that, you know how some people do that? They go and steal people's pumpkins and smash them? That is so rude.
It's
What are you doing? You're not benefiting from any of that.
Even a band named their name.
Smashing pumpkins.
Right. Right?
All right, live pictures right now over Uptown as the sun comes up on a Friday morning. Keep it right here. Another check of your weekend forecast and your morning commute coming your way right here on WCNC Charlotte.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day, even though it's on the chillier side. 35 right now in Lincolnton. You officially dropped down to 29 Boone, 42 around Charlotte. So temperatures all over the place. So you're heading out the door, dress accordingly. Now, the best thing that we have in our favor, sunshine makes everything warmer by at least 10 degrees. So 60 degrees by noon for the actual air temperature, eventually reaching the upper 60s. 69 for a high. Yesterday we were at 74. Same thing with the day before. And then on and off throughout the day, you could have a stray gust up to 20, but hey, no big deal. Our Jerry Hunt Super Center 7-day forecast has a big decline in the temperatures, especially Sunday heading into Monday. Tomorrow's pretty much the same day as today. Increasing clouds on your Sunday eventually leads to widespread rain Sunday night. Monday turning scattered on Tuesday and Wednesday, where it's going to be quite cold. Let's get right over to Majestic on this beautiful morning.
Good morning, everyone. Grab those sunglasses, grab a jacket before you head out the door. 41 minutes is how long it'll take you if you're driving in from Gastonia, and about 50 if your morning commute is from Salisbury to Charlotte. Look at how gorgeous it is, though. A nice way to start our Friday. Clear skies. Hard to see I-77 there because the sun is so bright. Do want to let you know about an ongoing crash. A lane is blocked because of it. It's on University City Boulevard near I-485. We'll go over everything for you coming up this morning on WCNC Plus.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Megan Bragg in for Lisa Washington. New this morning, one person and their pet dogs are dead after a fast-moving RV fire at a park on Amy Lane in Concord. It happened just after midnight. Fire crews say one RV was already fully engulfed and flames had spread to 2 others when they got there. Another resident escaped with minor burns and 2 nearby neighbors were treated for smoke inhalation. The Red Cross is helping those displaced. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Right now, we're following 3 overnight accidents on I-45. Medics say so far at least 5 people have been taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The first one happened last night on the inner loop near mile marker 66. Then around 2, another crash near Rocky River Road in northeast Charlotte. And at the same time, one at Steel Creek. Police cleared all 3 scenes, so the accidents won't impact your morning commute. Well, this morning we are learning more about a crime spree that stretched across West Charlotte yesterday, leaving 2 people dead, including the suspect.
Everything started near Hoskins Road and Black Avenue, where officers say they were called for an assault with a deadly weapon. When they arrived, they say they found 2 people shot. One victim later died and the other is in critical condition. On your screen right now, video of that first scene. Officers say not long after that shooting, though, a kidnapping and home invasion was called in. Police say what happened is the suspect forced a woman into a car, then fired at officers during a chase, hitting several patrol cars. Neighbors left stunned from all the chaos.
I pull off, I go boom, 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 boom. I dipped on off. I bent in the corner, sat there for a couple seconds, come back around, and I heard the police call.
This is a main road, so like the shooting just now is like that stray bullet could have went through your house, and instead of you being like in a.
The chase came to a violent end at a second scene near Freedom Drive in Moorhead, just about 15 minutes later. WCNC Charlotte's Siobhan Riley shares how even after it was over, the chaotic scene continued.
Crime scene tape stretched across parts of West Moorhead and Freedom Drive during rush hour traffic. This is one of the scenes connected to the kidnapping and home invasion nearby.
The traffic was all of a sudden gridlocked all around our neighborhood trying to get in, and police helicopters figured something big was going on, but did not realize it was a police shooting or anything.
So there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of different crime scenes.
CMPD Police Chief Johnny Jennings says once the suspect involved in the chase crashed, he jumped out of the car and ran off.
As they were chasing him on foot, he continued to fire rounds at our officers, and as he approached officers on Moorhead, pointed a firearm at those officers.
Chief Jennings says those officers returned fire, striking the suspect. The suspect died at the scene. Jennings says the situation could have been a lot worse if officers weren't there.
But we also had lives that were saved because of the quick response by our officers.
People who live in the area say though they're thankful no one lost their life, the crime needs to stop.
Recently, just everything going on between the light rail, you hear shootings on the news every morning. It's a bit concerning. Would definitely like that to get figured out a bit.
The chief says the woman kidnapped was able to get out of the vehicle and get away safely. Police ask anybody with information or perhaps even video footage to share it with them. Chris.
Thanks a lot, Ben. This is beautiful, right? Look at this. Everywhere you look, we have wall-to-wall sunshine. Now, this is what we've been doing. Same script as the last few days. However, it is a cooler edition. I think at most you will see a few extra upper-level clouds, so that's the only slight difference. And then each day kind of picks up a few additional clouds, definitely noticing it by your Sunday. 42 degrees, that's where we're still at, and our new updates will come out that we're going to quickly warm up over the next hour or so. Still note that is still a local fire danger, and many of you, perfect weather, might want to have a bonfire a little bit later on. Just take the necessary precautions because it is super dry. We've literally had less than 1/10 of an inch of rain for 3 to 4 weeks. That is way too low. So everything is super dry, and of course those leaves as well. Charlotte area across the board, sunshine, sunshine, sunshine. And you're going to have an occasional gust up to 20, but I think it's really calmer than the last few days. And then you can see over the next 3, 68, sunshine, 65, more clouds, and then boom, down into the 50s, and we're expecting widespread rain. This is the only day I have a widespread chance. The rest are really kind of in between, scattered activity, and even just isolated for your Thursday. Thursday, honestly, I think it's going to be mainly dry, just maybe some lingering rain in the morning. As far as how much could drop, we're in this range, about 1.5 to 2.5 inches. Could exceed expectations, but that's the general range over the next 7 days. So let's just call it about 2 to 3 inches for the max, and we'll see over the weekend if that will change. By the time you're joining us again here on WCNC Plus in the morning on Monday, I think we will have active rain, and we're also going to have just a widespread rain scenario, but I think we have more wet hours than dry. That's the way it's looking, at least in the near term. Here's Saturday night at 11 p.m. I skipped today because there's not much really to show. Nothing really moves, but there is a big movement heading into your Sunday morning. There are a few avenues of clearing. So what this would likely be is either areas of sunshine mixing with some clouds, or those stratus-cumulus clouds, and other times it'll be overcast, not a complete gloom and doom scenario. But by the end of the day, watch, you see a bright white take over the entire area. So that means I think by the end of the afternoon, we have an overcast sky, no sunshine to end the day, and they're also going to have a few on and off light rain showers. These will struggle to hit the ground at first, but then once they get going, kicking into high gear, we're going to have widespread rain. So Sunday night into Monday, that's where the wetter pattern all begins, because you got a lot going on. Look at this. This big old low pressure system moving in from the Gulf, crossing the Carolinas, and since it's coming from the Gulf, it has moisture, so that's going to up our rain chances. First legitimate rain chance that we've had in several weeks. And then off towards the west, we also have another low. This is going to have a tough time trying to move east because of how strong this one becomes. This will become another nor'easter that's going to plague the northeast, but it's called nor'easter, by the way, because of the winds out of the northeast. That's going to keep things quite breezy, possibly some coastal erosion right along the shoreline. And I think Tuesday has a chance for some breaks all in all, scattered rain heading into your Wednesday, and then Wednesday night into Thursday, even a chance for a little wintry mix. Oh boy, yeah, that late fall weather is really taking over. 69, 68, these are the best days over the next 7. After that, the mid-50s with rain. Could see the sunshine a little bit on Tuesday, but this is a whole lot cooler. To think it was just a few weeks ago, we had lows around this range. Alas, but 'tis the season. 70 forecast by your Jerry Hunt Super Center, looking pretty good. Let's see how your traffic's looking. That's what you do, Majestic. Sorry.
Here we go, everyone. Out the door we go. We got places to be. We have things to do. It's our Friday. We're getting close to the weekend. It's a beautiful day. We don't have a whole lot of accidents, so we're off to a fine start. We do have our typical delays, of course, I-85, I-77, and a few ongoing wrecks. So let's break down a few of them for you. We'll start with this one. It's a newer one on Independence, where we currently have one lane that's blocked because of a crash. Again, Independence eastbound before W.T. Harris Boulevard, seeing those delays there. Not seeing completely stopped conditions, just one lane that's currently blocked. And then to the north, we're following this, another crash here on Freedom Drive and Allegheny Street. So we'll continue to see that one. And then as we're heading over towards uptown I-77, all of that red is just meaning that stop and go traffic there. That's what we typically see. However, this one is probably going to be the most problematic. Look at all of this red. This is a lane that's blocked because of a crash. W.T. Harris Boulevard westbound at Rose Heather Court. These delays are taking about 10 minutes. They just put a little note there, and it's backed up about 2 miles there. This accident, I was following it for about an hour. It has since been cleared. Remember, University City Boulevard out towards I-485. So no more problems there. That's what I'm looking at for now, Megan. We'll have another check on those roads coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Majestic. City leaders are taking steps to make Charlotte safer, and beautification is playing a role in rebuilding confidence in Uptown. Earlier this month, CMPD announced efforts to boost visibility and cut crime. Upgrades include lighting, landscaping, benches, and trash bins. More officers are on foot and bike patrols targeting busy areas. Leaders say it's about more than enforcement. It's changing how people experience the city day and night.
A safe community attracts investment. It creates jobs. It builds trust. It gives people confidence to live, work, and raise families here in Charlotte.
Officials add these steps are just the start of rebuilding pride and security across Charlotte.
This morning, we are learning that a new species of butterfly is being named after Irina Zarutska, the Ukrainian refugee who was killed on light rail in August. The butterfly's common name is Irina's azure. It's derived from the Greek goddess of peace and is associated with tranquility, harmony, and serenity.
North Carolina will soon be getting more than $25 million to help make roads safer. Governor Stein says the grants will support the governor's highway safety program aimed at reducing traffic deaths statewide. The funding will go towards education, enforcement, and community safety initiatives. The grants took effect this month, and applications for the next round open in January.
As we go to break, here's an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, our team tests products every day. We get rid of the rejects. We only bring you the best. This is the Zoom broom. It's kind of half broom, half leaf blower. Brand new leaf blower technology. Look how lightweight this is. Only 2 pounds. And when you compare it, this is the leaf blower I have normally. Look how big this thing is, and it's much heavier and bulkier. It has batteries like that. This one, you just charge with a USB-C, done, and it's cordless. Look at the commercial on this. It's actually really satisfying, looks really easy, blowing everything away. We want to see if it actually works, so here we go. I'm gonna blow away some leaves here. Look, wow, it works just like the commercial, just like that. Blow the leaves wherever you want them. I have some dirt over here as well, blowing the dirt. Now, by the way, this is really cool on this. Come on in for a second. You can also turn it to high turbo mode, like that. If you have some really stubborn stuff, look at that. Look at it getting right off the driveway. This is really cool. Very satisfying. Got some mulch, I have some wood chips over here. And of course, the traditional old grass clippings like this as well. The great thing about the Zoom broom I was reading, this goes for 30 minutes straight without another charge. And if you're doing this for more than 30 minutes, you're probably doing it wrong. We have a deal on this for you today. You know, I always try to save you money. It's normally $219. Today for you, only $149, 32% off. Scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Time now, 8:15. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one Tennessee tattoo artist is helping survivors and their families commemorate their journeys with free pink ribbon tattoos.
Amanda Roberts shows us as a way to honor their strength and also remember those lost.
In this tattoo studio, there is one color that is chosen more than others.
A flash sheet that's got 3 pages of pink ribbons for people to choose from.
And pink's my favorite color, so.
Having picked a pair of angel wings.
Just another symbolic for my grandma.
Sade Tate sits in the pink chair for a tattoo in tribute to one of the strongest women she knows.
My nanny, she was just an amazing person. Like, everybody loved my grandma. We called her Nanny Goat. She was like my second mom. I grew up with her. She was like my best friend.
Among all the breast cancer pink and ribbons and signs of strength, the angel wings stood out to her.
I saw like all the grown-ups running to her room, and I just happened to run in behind them, and she looked right at me and she passed away. When she passed, it felt like my world just crashed.
Yeah, my great-grandmother had breast cancer.
She has several clients fighting breast cancer diagnoses. So artist Angelise Adams has heard these stories of pain, of loss, and of survival.
I meet the most amazing people, and the most amazing people I meet are those warriors.
This month, Adams is using her talent to make permanent those journeys and stories with free pink ribbon tattoos.
I don't feel like I'm giving away. I feel like I'm gaining. And it's amazing, and I love it.
Tattoos that will help others know and remember how hard these women fight.
Oh, so pretty.
Wow.
So nice.
Nice to not only sort of celebrate the strength of women, but also remember those who have passed as well.
Absolutely.
Keep it right here on WCNC Plus, 8:17 right now. We're back with another check of your Friday morning commute as well as your forecast.
Welcome back, everybody. So at the top of every 3 hours, so 8 o'clock, 11 to 2 to 5, and so on, there's some sort of new tropical update when you have a active tropical system. And right now, Tropical Storm Melissa is low end. This is barely a tropical storm. And that's what makes this so alarming. Right now, it's barely moving. It's moving at 1 mile per hour, so that's a change. Before it was stationary, meaning it was just stuck in place, but it's taking its sweet time. So what this is doing is still picking up upwelling in the ocean, and that is dashing it over towards Hispaniola. Same thing over here in Jamaica. But what's going to happen is this starts to move and starts to grow. That's going to increase the storm surge, increase the waves, and increase the rain. So I don't like this scenario. Giving a quick progress report for 2025, we've had 12 named storms so far, 4 hurricanes, 3 major. Well, we're about to add it to 13, 5, and 4 because this will become a major hurricane. So on to Melissa we go. The M names in October have quite the history, such as Mitch and Matthew, some of the more infamous names that we've had. And yeah, of course, you can't forget Michael as well. Tropical Storm Melissa will become Hurricane Melissa at some point on your Saturday. It really looks to be, I would say, late morning heading into the early afternoon time frame. But the problem is once it starts moving south of Jamaica, you're talking about almost bath water for those water temperatures and ideal conditions for rapid intensification. So it goes from 75 to 100 miles per hour to 115 to 130. We're talking about a major hurricane status by your Sunday afternoon. So a major hurricane is within 100 miles of Jamaica to the south, dumping rain and eventually passing by. We might avoid a landfall directly for Jamaica, but you're still having a storm that's going to surround Jamaica for several days. I'm talking about impacts as early as Saturday, lingering as late as Wednesday. That is a tremendous amount of rain that could come with this system. As you can see, our tropical wind field expands into your Saturday and Sunday, sticking around through your Tuesday. And the biggest concern, check out these rainfall values. Once Melissa makes that turn back towards Cuba, that's going to have big impacts as well. We're talking about upwards to about 15 to 20 inches of rain possible here in Jamaica. And here's the sad thing. That could actually be underplayed a little bit. This is going to be a developing situation and not the scenario that you like to see. Top of the next half hour, I will have your full forecast here locally outside of the Caribbean, but we're going to have a local look at your traffic with a Majestic. Good morning.
It's a beautiful start to our Friday, 8:22 if you're getting ready to head out the door. This is I-77 where it is busy. This is Tyvola. No accidents, just a lot of people out starting their day. We have 3 active crashes. This one right here, to be mindful of it, seeing still mainly green around it, so not too majorly concerned, but a lane is closed because of it. It's on I-77 northbound at exit 13 to get onto I-85 there. We'll keep a close eye on that for you, letting you know if there are any delays. And then this one here, a lane is blocked because of a crash. W.T. Harris Boulevard at Rose Heather Court.
Majestic, thanks. Time now, 8:23 almost. While Halloween is the time for a trick-or-treating, it can also be isolating for some kids, specifically with disabilities. But in Iowa, Kaylee Doms introduces us to the man changing that story for his nephew, bringing Halloween fun to those who might miss out.
They're no different than any other kid. Don't treat them any different. They're just like you or me.
Halloween is a time for kids to be kids. But for kids with disabilities, like 9-year-old Landon, who's been wheelchair bound since birth, Halloween can be one of the most overwhelming times of the year.
He ended up getting pushed out of the way so the other kids could go in front of him. And so we actually don't trick or treat anymore.
Some Siouxland kids sit out of trick or treating every year. They don't get to see the colorful lights, dress up in costumes, or collect candy.
Our son is enthralled by the lights.
But this year, that's changing. Landon's uncle, Todd Cooley, saw the need for inclusion.
We're going to dress up in our costumes, and it's kind of like a reverse trick-or-treating type deal to where I've got a list put together. We're going to ride to their house, and we're going to actually distribute the candy right at their door.
Organizing a group called Trick or Treat Riding. With candy and costumes, bikers will go door to door to the kids who can't, allowing kids in Siouxland the opportunity to get a new meaning to Halloween, one filled with kindness and inclusion.
For him to be able to just stay in his home and be able to dress up and be whatever he wants to be and have them, come and just show off their costumes and candy. It's just a whole new experience for him because he's never experienced the good side of it.
Saturday, October 25th at the Sioux City Boat Ramp parking lot.
Kickstands up at 6.
Because no child should have to miss out.
Something that we might not always think about when it comes to Halloween. All right, folks, keep it right here as we take a live look right now over our city skyline on a Friday morning, shaping up to be pretty nice, but chilly out there, even at 8:25. Chris is back with another look at your local forecast next.
Who's ready for it? Is the last weekend before Halloween. So the last of the apple picking, these slots are pretty much almost dried up. So this is the last time I'll be able to show this graphic. Sunshine though across the board, maybe picking apples or just doing whatever today. High temperatures in the upper 60s, a little bit cooler. Scarowind's gonna be quite chilly, especially if you're on a ride because you're creating your own wind chill. Temperatures falling down to either side of 50 degrees once the park closes. That's open from 6 to midnight tonight. And then our weekend forecast, tomorrow, pretty much the exact same day as today. Tomorrow, 65 degrees. We have increasing cloud cover where we will see a little bit of sunshine, but turning overcast by the end of the day. And then here it comes. Here comes the rain. So for the Panthers home game, temperatures mainly in the lower to the mid 60s, a slight wind chill as well. 7-day forecast brought to you by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. Much cooler and wetter forecast heading into next week. Monday is going to be the wettest by a landslide. Let's quickly get over to Majestic for a quick hit on our morning commute.
Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful start to our Friday morning. I-77 here is looking fantastic. A whole lot of sunshine out there, really, no matter where you're traveling today. This is going to be I-77 at Tyvola, feeling like it's 38 degrees. So yeah, grab that jacket. You'll probably want it this morning. There's some of those drive times for you, and we're going over all of these accidents on WCNC Plus. See you there soon.
Good morning and thanks for joining us live at WCNC Plus at 8:30. I'm Megan Bragg, in for Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. New healthcare options coming to folks in Harrisburg next year.
Atrium Health and town leaders have announced the current emergency room is expanding, adding new features that will impact those who live there.
WCNC Charlotte's Bria Smith has more on what you can expect.
This hospital here on Rocky River Road currently operates as a freestanding ER, but in the near future, patients will be able to receive full-service hospital care right in their own backyard.
If they expand it to provide all those services, it would really be a benefit for people living nearby here.
Gene Hermit is a Harrisburg resident. He says he remembers when the hospital first opened.
We came by for a tour and we asked questions about what the services were available, especially things for like strokes and heart attack. And we were quite surprised because they said for really serious things like that, they would have to send us to a full-service hospital.
But Robert Donham, Town of Harrisburg town manager, says that won't be the case come next year.
Currently, Harrisburg residents do have to travel either out of the county or 20, 25 minutes to Concord to access some of the more full-service hospital needs that you have. And we would anticipate all of those services being provided right here in Harrisburg for our residents.
Those services specialized for more urgent matters.
Surgery centers and the medical offices that come along with it, imaging and hospital beds.
Donham says the process for the expansion will take time and is still in the early stages, but will also be a contributing factor to the town's economic development.
The jobs, they provide a great deal of investment both in the construction and everything, but also the workers there also need to frequent your community. They buy homes in your community. They dine and shop in your community.
Much better, especially since we're getting older now. That really is important. So, a sense of security.
The county's only full-service hospital is located in Concord, making this project only the second full-service emergency healthcare provider. In Harrisburg, Bria Smith, WCNC Charlotte.
Well, good morning, everybody. Well, we are actively making this coming Monday a weather impact day. So not alert, we don't have to really worry about any massive flooding or anything like that. But what I'm trying to do here is show that you are going to be, really have to be more alert. And notice that the graphics, I was actively updating this. I thought I had more time. I apologize. So here you are. We are now looking at a weather impact day. And this really just means that this is going to be an inconvenience weather. I'm not really calling for any severe life-threatening weather. You're going to see a red bar if you're going to see that. So that's how we like to do things here. So weather impact day means that the day is going to impact you for the morning commute, for the evening commute. It does not look like it's going to be a great forecast. So just be advised that that is what we're going to have out and about for the day today. Now, as for today, or for Monday, excuse me. Now getting back on track. Right now, we are starting off on the chillier side of things. It is going to be a delightful day just like yesterday, but we are starting to cool things down. Winds out of the north are starting to filter in some of that cooler air. 32 degrees right now around Boone, 39 degrees around Statesville. Local fire danger still going to be at a high from the mountains down to the sandhills because it's still going to be on and off breezy and you're still super dry. That's the big thing. We have not had a lot of rain. I looked at our rain totals for October. 0.07, less than a tenth of an inch. That is crazy. 69 degrees is going to be our high today. We've been at 74 back-to-back days. So even though we are a little bit cooler, it's still great. Sunshine makes it feel so much better. And the wind's even a little bit lighter, but a stray gust up to 20 is possible on and off. Once you get to Sunday, you're looking at mostly cloudy skies. And then here comes Monday. This is the day that we're going just a weather impact, where it's definitely going to be some inconvenience weather to start and to end the day. So widespread rain on Monday, scattered on Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday are still up in the air. It's kind of trending that you could have a big break in these. It's not like Monday that pretty much you could have more hours of rain compared to dry weather. So our rainfall forecast, I think that we're going to have upwards to about 3 inches of rain across the event, but there's a good chance that a majority of that falls on Monday. It's all just depending on what this low pressure system is going to do. So starting on Saturday night, that's where we really start to see changes to the horizon. Clouds roll in for your Sunday morning. Sunday morning, I still think you see some signs of sunshine, so tailgaters still going to be an overall decent forecast. And then as that starts to build, I think it's really the end of the day that starts to turn overcast. I actually want to come back to about 1 o'clock. Notice right around the beginning of the Panthers game, because it's one of the biggest things that's happening, you're seeing a few breaks in the clouds. So I think it's not really until maybe the fourth quarter and beyond it starts to turn overcast and even a chance for a little bit of rain activity. And here comes that rain. It's going to be widespread. As you notice, some areas like Lincolnton seeing several hours of rain through your Sunday evening and the overnight. There's a chance that we could have some breaks here and there for your Monday, but it's going to be constant pulses of several hours of rain on and off through your Monday. It's all because of this low pressure system. As this moves from the southwest to the northeast, we are anticipating a decent amount of rain to come from this. And as this moves offshore, that's where we're expecting this thing to deepen. And that just really means a low pressure system getting deeper means it gets stronger. That's going to pick up more of these general average sea level pressure lines that are around this. And then as the closer they get together, the stronger the winds are likely. And then the backside of the secondary system that struggles to move through could even drag in some flurries right along the high country. So as I mentioned, starting off as I was actively updating the graphics, sorry about that, but good thing we're on the stream. Temperatures in the mid 50s for your Monday and Tuesday. On and off rain, even a little bit of sunshine could pop on Tuesday, but this is still a cooler forecast. That means the clouds mainly winning out with constant rain chances each day starting off in the mid to the upper 40s, each day in the mid to the upper 50s. Thursday, I think the sun could come out with highs in the lower 60s. So what a difference from the left side of your screen to the middle and right side of your screen. That's an update from your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Now an update with my friend Majestic and traffic.
All right, we're heading into our Friday morning, you guys, with, yes, busy area roadways, but the silver lining is that it's beautiful outside. That's how we like to start our weekend ride. We do have cool temperatures, 38 degrees, so you'll probably be turning up that heater as you get in your car this morning. 23 minutes if you're coming in from Matthews, just over 25 if you're coming in from Belmont. We do have some delays, including right here. This is a stalled vehicle that is now blocking a lane. This is going to be on W.T. Harris Boulevard, northbound after exit 45A. So just keep a mindful eye out for that. As we're looking, this is still north of Uptown. This is 2 lanes that are currently blocked right now because of a crash. W.T. Harris Boulevard at I-77. Exit 18 right here, so a very well-traveled place. Make sure you're probably just allowing for a few extra minutes to get to where you need to be on time this morning if you do typically drive that way. And then Ray Road at Bryant Farm Road is our active crash here. Still seeing mainly green around it, so probably not significant delays. Those are the things that I'm watching for now. Otherwise, take it easy for your Friday morning commute, and we'll have another check on those roads coming up here in a little bit. Ben.
Majestic, thanks. Time now 8:38. We're learning more about the CMS coach charged for shooting into an occupied property. CMS sent a message to Ballantyne Ridge High School families where Diamond Johnson, the shooter, served as a volunteer football coach. They said in part that we take this very seriously. Johnson will no longer serve as a volunteer at any school around students and staff. Johnson's currently being held in a York County jail without bond, waiting to be sent back to Mecklenburg County.
Former Hornet star Terry Rozier is out of jail this morning on bond after being arrested in a federal gambling investigation tied to the mafia. 31 others across 11 states were also arrested. Sources say Rozier put up his Florida home valued at $6 million as collateral for bond. Authorities claim Rozier gave non-public information to gamblers who bet on his performance while he played for the Hornets. WFNZ and Locked On Sports reporter Walker Mell provided some more of that insight on these accusations.
He told a childhood friend that he was going to be exiting the game early before it was public knowledge. And that's the real issue at hand. And that, okay, you tell your friend that you're going to exit the game early before it's public knowledge. Now what your friend can do, and it's allegedly what he did, was that he sold information that Terry told him to different people, different bettors, associates, and then their proxy bettors. And all of these people made money off of something that was not public knowledge.
We do have that full interview on our streaming platform, which you're watching right now, WCNC Plus. It's, of course, free and available wherever you stream.
Up next, day 24 now of the government shutdown, why the Senate blocked a plan to pay essential workers.
Time now 8:42. President Trump says he's halting all U.S. trade talks with Canada after accusing the country of airing a fake ad featuring former President Ronald Reagan speaking against tariffs. Trump claims Canada is trying to influence a Supreme Court case that could impact his tariff policies, including those on Canadian goods. The Reagan Foundation says the ad misrepresented an address Reagan gave back in 1987 and edited it without permission. Trump says tariffs are important to U.S. security and the economy.
8:42 right now. The government shut down now, entering day 24, and it sets to drag in to next week for sure. The Senate headed home yesterday without a deal to reopen the government after failing to advance a Republican bill that would pay essential federal workers during the shutdown. Republicans say it would have brought some relief to workers still on the job. Democrats argue it would give the president way too much power over who gets paid and who doesn't.
This whole thing is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's strictly to try to give a few Democrats some leverage, they think, and to give them some protection from their radical base. This is hurting a lot of innocent people, and it needs to end.
We're perfectly willing to work with Republicans on a broad proposal that pays everyone, not just the president's personal favorites. We can't allow him to pick and choose the ones that he thinks deserve to be paid. They all should be paid because they're doing essential work.
The Senate set to reconvene on Monday.
The man accused of sparking the Palisade fire has pleaded not guilty to federal arson charges. On your screen is Jonathan Rinderknecht. He made his first appearance in court yesterday. Rinderknecht faces charges including destruction of property by fire. He pleaded not guilty and was ordered to stay in custody. Federal prosecutors say he lived in Los Angeles when he allegedly started the Latchman fire on New Year's Day. Investigators say he was in the area working as an Uber driver, dropping off passengers near a former home.
This morning, Alaska Airlines resuming operations after an IT problem grounded hundreds of flights last night. The ground stop lasted nearly 3 hours. The airline says more than 200 flights were canceled. Alaska Airlines experienced a similar outage back in July and one before that in April of last year. Alaska is the 5th largest U.S. airline. 8:44 right now. We're going to take a quick break. We're back with another check of your weekend forecast.
Welcome back. A mom and her 7 children are canoeing down the Mississippi River. They call themselves the world's largest outdoor adventure family. Their journey recently took them through St. Louis. Tracy Hinson met up with them before they got back on the water.
All right, where are the rest of the PFDs?
After a few windy days, the Bettis family is finally unpacking to get back on the river.
So we're missing one. Obviously, the amount of work it takes to unload boats or load boats is not ideal. But in certain situations, like we've had the past few days where wind is so crazy and it's just not safe.
The wind let up just enough Wednesday that they could put in downstream of the chain of rocks.
They work pretty good together, and we kind of got it down to a science.
In 2023, Nikki and her 13 kids hiked the Appalachian Trail.
That journey was mostly a journey of healing for all of us because of what it took to become single and our past. So that was a lot of recovery and healing, and our focus was just to be out there as a family.
2 years later, they were ready to adventure again. A few of the older kids are staying back this time, but 7 Bettis kids are on this Mississippi River trip.
The kids were tired of walking. It's like, let's go do some paddling.
And rapid fire, let's meet them all.
I am Graham and I am 14 years old.
Gatlin and I'm 14.
Gates and I'm 13.
Lily and I'm 12.
Grisham and I'm 10.
I'm Galax and I'm 9. I'm Opie and I'm 7.
Most people do the river in the summer, and it's brutal, the heat, because you're going to Louisiana.
They plan to be in New Orleans by Thanksgiving.
That's wild.
Yeah, I know, right? Goodness.
Very
8 canoes.
good for them.
All
Wow.
going down. All right.
Yeah.
Let's bring in Chris. He's got to check out your Friday forecast.
Ben and Megan, here's what's going on. We have the upper 70s to the mid 70s for your Wednesday and Thursday. That's where we just were, but look where we're going. It is just a downslope. And one day that really stands out from the rest. Friday, Saturday, into Sunday, we're staying dry, but you are picking up more clouds through your Sunday. And it's really Sunday evening that we see our first signs of rain. But Monday, a near washout the way things are trending. But I truly think the way things are going to go down for your Monday is I think we have pulses of rain. So it rains for several hours, you take a break, rains for several hours, you take a break, especially depending where you are. But it's going to affect us, holding true to the mid 50s. Tuesday has a better chance for a few more breaks in the rain, maybe even a hint of sunshine. But all in all, the clouds are definitely winning out in the short term. So what do we need to know for this weekend? It is just getting cooler day by day. Today is actually a sensational one. Overall, temperatures still in the upper 60s, lots and lots of sunshine to go around. But what a difference we have heading into next week. We have a widespread rain chance, turning scattered on Tuesday and Wednesday. I think if you were to rank the days, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday as far as the biggest impacts to go. But it's going to be wet, cloudy, and cool. So from Monday to Tuesday mornings, I think we're seeing a majority of the rain. It's going to be wet, it's chilly, not great commutes, and 2 to 3 inches of rain could fall during this time frame alone. The other 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday combined, are likely less than an inch. So that's why we're really focusing on this time frame. So jackets, rain gear, always a good idea, and just not great commutes, just depending with that on and off rain. Our futurecast that shows more detail doesn't go out that far, but it does go through our Sunday into Monday morning. So I'm going to show you that. Here's what it looks like on Sunday. Seeing some breaks in the clouds, becoming much thicker by the end of the day. Seeing scattered rain as we work our way into, I would say, the early evening hours. A lot of this will struggle to hit the ground, mainly just some sprinkle varieties, becoming more widespread with pulses of rain. That's what I'm talking about heading into your Monday. And then we could add a lot, because check this out. Look at these rain totals. This is the most recent update too, showing a surge of rain heading into the middle of your Monday, and then Monday night seeing another push, especially northwest of Charlotte. That's the sweet spot where you could even see above 3 inches of rain. So this is a day that we definitely have to note. This is all associated with a low pressure system that passes, and still a lot of question marks as we have 2 separated lows that could cause a little bit of lull in between them. So our 7-day forecast, brought to you by the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, shows that Monday is the day that stands out for the most inconvenient weather of your week, but definitely enjoy the best days of the 7-day. That's today and tomorrow. And the best traffic report that you're going to get in town and weather report, Majestic Storm up next.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get to it. It's a beautiful start to our Friday morning. I'm talking about clear skies, a whole lot of sunshine. You'll want your sunglasses for your morning commute and probably a jacket. You may even turn on your heat as you get in the car this morning. This is I-77 out near John Belk. You can see traffic. It's flowing, but of course it is busy as people are heading out, going out to work, running their errands, whatever you're doing this morning. Here's a look at some of those drive times. Just over 20 minutes if you're coming in from Matthews and over 25 if you're coming in from Belmont. Still a handful of ongoing accidents. Do want to let you know about this one still. I'm keeping a close eye on it. Stop and go traffic. Right now, we have 2 lanes that are currently closed because of a crash. It's on W.T. Harris Boulevard, eastbound at I-77, exit 18. So not a good sign with those delays. And it's not just one lane that's closed, but we have 2 lanes that are currently closed because of that ongoing wreck. And then again to the south right here, we have a crash on Ray Road at Bryant Farm Road, but we don't have significant delays there. All right, we're going to send things over to Larry Sprinkle if you need something to do this weekend.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. It's Friday, time to talk about what's going on this weekend, where to go this weekend. One great place to visit is West Jefferson, North Carolina, up in the high country. There's a quaint downtown area, nice restaurants, art galleries, great shopping. The Ashe County Farmers Market and Mount Jefferson State Park is nearby. West Jefferson, North Carolina. Check it out. Fantastic place to visit this weekend. See beautiful sunrises like this. It's a drive up Interstate 77 to Highway 421 North, 421 North to Highway 221 North, and take that right into West Jefferson. Time from Charlotte is about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Don't miss it. West Jefferson, North Carolina. That's the place to go this weekend. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Stranger Things fans, listen up. Are you up for one last adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the show's 5th and final season will be released in 3 volumes later this year. The first 4 episodes drop next month. 3 more arrive on Christmas Day. That's a little present. And the grand finale that's coming New Year's Eve. And here's a surprise. You can catch it in theaters too. The series follows a group of friends in the 1980s who discover a parallel dimension called the Upside Down. The final season promises to wrap up the story as the heroes face their biggest challenge yet, defeating, who is this? Vecna.
Yeah.
In a deadly final battle. I don't watch this, obviously, because I didn't even know the name, but you sure did.
Yes, of course, it fits the profile, but I'm letting you know, even if that isn't your jam, it's just very well done, and it's very suspenseful. So I've been watching since the very first season, and I'm so excited.
Are we at 10 years yet? I mean, I feel like it's been around
It's
for
been around for a while.
The kids aren't kids anymore, just saying that.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, so, and I think that that's the way this is taking place, because the last one kind of ended in resolution. Well, no. Contraire, mon frere.
Not so fast.
More action to come. So I'm excited, and I'm sure a lot of you are as well.
And it comes out on Christmas Day, right?
Christmas Day.
There's your birthday present, Chris.
Yay!
There you go.
Thank you,
love when
Netflix.
things come out on Christmas Day because you open your presents and you're like, okay, what
are we gonna do?
What now?
All right.
That's what you can do.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, keep it right here. More news, weather, and traffic, and we'll go to our live impact stream coming up at the top of the hour right here on WCNC Plus.
Let's do it again. Sunshine, there it is. That is expected all day long today, and most an upward level cloud the next couple of days. 69 degrees today, so a little bit cooler than the last couple, but sunshine staying with us makes it feel oh so grand. Looking at our extended forecast, our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has temperatures on the way down. By the way, we should be averaging 71 this time of year, so this isn't too unusual. The 50s are a little unorthodox. We're back to the mid 50s for your Monday and Tuesday. Biggest weather impacts of the week looks to be on Monday night. That's when most of the rain can fall, 2 to 3 inches. Then outside of that, scattered rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. Back to a around 60 degrees on Thursday. But if you don't like the chilly weather, well, sad to say, 'tis the season. Enjoy the next couple of days because they look to be the best. So Majestic and I are excited about that. Beautiful morning, by the way.
Oh, it's so nice making that morning commute a little bit better for you, even though those roads are quite busy. We're waking up to gorgeous clear skies out there. This is coming in from York County. Good morning to everyone there in South Carolina. Not seeing any big problems for you. Meanwhile, in North Carolina, it's a whole different story. North of Charlotte, we're looking at this right now. 2 lanes are blocked because of an accident. It's going to be on W.T. Harris Boulevard, eastbound at I-77, specifically exit 18. Plan accordingly, drive safe, and I hope you have a great weekend.